Y'all want to see a dead body? Y'all want to see someone get knocked out? Then you need to listen to this video and watch this upcoming fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. have agreed, according to ESPN reports, they have agreed to a light heavyweight unification fight. Joe Smith Jr., his last fight, a little bit rocky. It was a little bit shaky. Some people thought maybe even he didn't win. Joe Smith Jr., he's 28-3. He has 22 knockouts, and he's been knocked out once and one loss. So I like Joe Smith Jr. I got to keep it real. I've always been a fan. Actually, it wasn't his last fight, Steve Gefford. It was the fight last year against this guy, Maxim Vlasov. That's the fight where people thought he arguably could have. This guy, man, he looked serious right there. He looked like he don't play no games. But as you can see right there, Joe Smith Jr., he has a whopping almost a 71% knockout ratio. The boy is a union worker. Shout out to my New Yorkers. Shout out to my union workers. And he got cracks, and he will knock you out if you don't fight him right. In fact, the guy that Canelo you want pay. I know that the guy that Canelo Alvarez is finna fight, Dmitry Bivol from Russia, guess what? Joe Smith Jr. lost to him. However, it was that same fight where I think it was the very last round, Dmitry Bivol had almost got knocked out by Joe Smith Jr. He was like stumbling and breakdancing in the ring, and he was drunk in there. So this should be a good fight. Artur Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr., they've agreed. Top Rank, shout out to them, ESPN. You guys will be able to order the fight using the link in my description. Now, before I go any further, I looked at my YouTube analytics for the last 28 days, and it showed me something. 50% of you that consume my content subscribe. Bravo. Shout out to the 50%. The other 50% that consume my content watch the content, but they didn't actually subscribe. I don't know if it slipped your mind, you forgot. Sometimes some of you guys get my videos on your feed the way the YouTube algorithm works, but you're not actually subscribed. So you think you're subscribed. Make sure you double check and see if you're subscribed. If not, subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping daily heat. You can also follow me on my Instagram, making my graphics, and we about to get that rocking. That's Boxingego 1. Back to it. Artur Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr., they've agreed in principle to a fight. The fight hasn't officially been announced. ESPN has reported. I'll put the link in the description. If you want to see someone get knocked out like I started with, then this is the fight that I suggest that you watch. Both guys got cracks. Artur Beterbiev, man, fighter out of Russia. Now, I don't know how that's going to play, just like the Canelo Bivol situation. If you guys know what's going on in the world with Russia and the invasion, the fact that he's Russian, and Bob Arum, he must have known, or obviously he knew because it's his company, but he did interviews and he says Beterbiev, he basically tried to disassociate him from Russia, even though he's Russian. And he said something in a recent interview saying, hey, Beterbiev, he repping Canada. That's his home. He's a Canadian citizen. So they're trying, they must have knew they were doing the Joe Smith Jr. fight, and they didn't want that kind of correlation or connection, because Bob Arum, he's promoting a fight card this week, and man, look at that man, forearms. Man, come on, bro. What? Look at it. He look like Popeye. This man got cracks too. Somebody getting knocked out. It is what it is. Sometimes somebody just got to get knocked out. But Bob Arum, he definitely tried to separate that and make that distinction, saying, oh, he's Canadian, but he is from Russia, just like Dmitry Bivol and stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. As a fight, as it sits, it's a unification. It's a great fight. I've wanted to see it for a while. Both guys have dynamite in their gloves. Both guys can get you out of there. Both guys can knock you out, a home run. So it should be a good fight while it lasts. I think Beterbiev has showed a little bit more durability, seeing that he's undefeated and he hasn't been knocked out, and Joe Smith Jr. has been knocked out. But Joe Smith Jr., he's anytime you got a puncher, they're always in the fight, because if you have one mental lapse, one slip, rock-a-bye, baby, that could be it for you. So at the end of the day, I'm really looking forward to this fight, because certain fights are meaningful and certain fights are like action fights. This one happens to be both. It should be, unless they all of a sudden change their style overnight, it should be both. You know, it's a unification for the division. Now, the other thing I'm disappointed, speaking of Canelo's fighting another Russian fighter, not named Beterbiev, in Bivol. And the thing that's disappointing is Canelo, he got a multi-fight deal from Premier Boxing Champs. He was offered a multi-fight deal again. And what happened is the Canelo man fans, the Chupapi Muñeño, they came out and said that Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to take a multi-fight deal because he was in a long-term contract with Golden Boy. He had to sue to get out, sued DAZN, yada, 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 right? And they're saying that he wanted to remain a free agent. But the problem with that is this. The problem is he didn't actually stay true to that, because you look at Canelo Alvarez and his very next fight, they're saying he has 2 fights with DAZN for sure, possibly a 3rd fight. So maybe Bivol if he gets past him, Triple G3 if he gets past him, then Makabu or Makbuk Air, or they're saying that he may actually fight against John Ryder or somebody else, some anonymous 3rd person. So my thing is this, that's not what they said. They said Canelo wanted to remain free. And one of the downsides with that is this is a great fight that ESPN's putting on. And if Canelo wasn't tied up in a multi-fight deal with anybody, then this would be a great winner to fight. Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. winner, you know? Oh, he drunk. See? Beterbiev, bro, his power is crazy. Look, he going down. He gonna cry in the car. Man, this man got cracks. So make sure you check it out. I want to see it. Beterbiev's a monster. When he was looking all bloody like that you seen in the picture. In his last fight, he fought an Olympian, a great guy, great talent, and Sir Marcus Brown. And when he got a cut, that's when his game woke up. And when he started really going for the gusto and the animal instinct kicked in. So Beterbiev's a handful. Joe Smith Jr. also a fighter with cracks. He's just, look, you could tell by the pictures. Look at all the blood in the ring and blood. Like, why is the ref bloody? The ref is as bloody like he getting beat up. You see what I'm saying? These are 2 knockout artists. That's all y'all, trust me. Shout out to Top Rank ESPN for making this fight. The ref is bloody. That's all y'all need to know. Hell, the ref is bloody and he's not even fighting, just from refereeing them. So you know Beterbiev comes for the slaughter. And Joe Smith Jr. is the same thing. So I've been a fan of both guys, Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. Shout out to Top Rank getting it done. Subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. I'll continue to cover it. You know, you can also follow me at Boxingego1. I'm the best in the business. Without further ado. And I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.